Christmas Eve 2008. Tesla had exactly 6 hours left before going completely bankrupt. Payroll would bounce in 2 days. Employees would return from holiday to find their company dead. But at 6 p.m. that night, Elon Musk pulled off what might be the most insane business save in history. Most people think business success is about having great ideas or raising tons of money. But here's what nobody tells you. The difference between companies that survive and companies that die isn't what you'd expect. Elon Musk almost lost everything not once, but multiple times. Tesla was literally hours away from bankruptcy. SpaceX burned through 3 rocket failures with only 1 chance left. Yet today, these companies are worth hundreds of billions. So what did Musk do that thousands of other entrepreneurs couldn't? The answer will change how you think about failure forever. Let me paint you a picture of just how close to disaster Elon really was. We're talking about 2008, the financial crisis that killed countless businesses. While banks were collapsing and people were losing their homes, Musk was running 2 companies bleeding money faster than he could pour it in. Tesla needed $20 million immediately, or it would shut down. Not in a few weeks, not next month, in days. The company had spent every penny developing the Roadster, and production was a nightmare. Battery packs were catching fire. The transmission kept breaking. Costs had spiraled completely out of control. Meanwhile, SpaceX had just watched their 3rd rocket explode on the launch pad. 3 failures in a row. They had enough money for exactly 1 more attempt. If that 4th rocket failed, SpaceX would be finished. No more private space exploration. No more dreams of Mars. Game over. According to multiple reports, Musk had already spent his entire PayPal fortune, $100 million, into SpaceX, $70 million into Tesla. His personal bank account was empty. He was borrowing money from friends just to pay rent. His wife was divorcing him, and the legal fees were crushing. Most people would have quit. Actually, let me be more specific. Every rational person would have quit. When you're personally bankrupt, running 2 failing companies, going through a divorce, and facing the worst economic crisis in decades, you walk away. You cut your losses. Musk did the opposite. And understanding why that worked reveals 3 critical business survival principles that most entrepreneurs completely miss. And yes, these work, whether you're building rockets or just trying to get your side hustle profitable. If this is already blowing your mind, hit the like button so YouTube shows you more deep dives like this. The VantagePoint Betrayal. When investors become predators, let me tell you about the most insane part of Tesla's near-death experience that almost nobody talks about. It wasn't just a cash flow problem. It was a coordinated attempt to steal the company. VantagePoint Capital, led by Alan Salzman, had invested in Tesla earlier, but by December 2008, they smelled blood in the water. According to industry reports, Salzman saw an opportunity. He wanted Tesla to become just a battery supplier to companies like Chrysler. Basically, give up on the dream of making cars and become a parts manufacturer. Musk said absolutely not. Electric cars were the future, not battery packs for dying car companies. But here's where Salzman got sneaky. Tesla needed every existing investor to agree to the emergency funding round. Without unanimous approval, the deal would collapse, and Tesla would die. Salzman signed every piece of paperwork, except one crucial page. When Musk called him, Salzman claimed the investment undervalued Tesla and refused to sign. This was pure manipulation. Salzman was trying to force Tesla into bankruptcy so VantagePoint could swoop in, buy the assets for pennies, remove Musk as CEO, and reshape Tesla into their vision, a corporate assassination disguised as an investment decision. Most entrepreneurs would have panicked. They'd have begged, offered more equity, or agreed to Salzman's demands. But Musk demonstrated the first critical survival principle: strategic legal maneuvering under pressure. He restructured the entire deal. Instead of an equity round that required unanimous investor approval, he turned it into a debt round. VantagePoint couldn't block debt financing. This legal maneuver completely bypassed Salzman's veto power. Now here's how you apply this to your situation. Whether you're dealing with a difficult business partner, a demanding client, or even a toxic boss, the lesson is the same. When someone tries to control you by manipulating the existing rules, don't fight them on their terms. Change the game entirely. create new options they can't control. Maybe that means finding alternative funding sources, switching to a different business model, or even changing industries entirely. The key is refusing to be trapped by someone else's leverage over you. The McLaren sacrifice. Total skin in the game. Now let me show you something that reveals Musk's psychology better than any biography. In 2007, while Tesla was struggling, Musk owned a McLaren F, one supercar, one of only 106 ever made, worth over $1 million. Most rich guys would keep the car and cut employee salaries instead. But according to reports from that time, Musk sold the McLaren to raise cash for Tesla. This wasn't just any car to him either. He'd crashed it years earlier while showing off to Peter Thiel, then spent a fortune repairing it uninsured. This car represented everything he'd achieved with PayPal, his trophy, his symbol of success, and he liquidated it without hesitation. Think about that psychology. While other CEOs are protecting their lifestyle and personal wealth, Musk is systematically destroying his own financial security to keep his companies alive. He's not just risking investor money, he's betting everything he personally owns. This demonstrates the second critical survival principle. Total personal investment creates investor confidence. When investors see a founder who has more to lose than anyone else, it changes the entire risk calculation. You're not just betting on a business model, you're betting on someone who literally cannot afford to fail. Reports from that period indicate he was borrowing money from friends to pay rent, sleeping on factory floors, and living like he was broke while running billion-dollar companies. Here's your takeaway. You might not own a McLaren, but the principle applies to whatever level you're at. If you're starting a side hustle while working your 9 to 5, are you willing to skip the expensive dinners, cancel the streaming services, and reinvest every spare dollar back into your business? Most people want to build wealth while maintaining their current lifestyle. Musk proved that strategic, personal sacrifice signals to everyone around you, investors, customers, even family, that you're committed beyond rational limits. When your barista sees you ordering the cheapest coffee because you're reinvesting everything into your business, that's powerful social proof. Comment below, what's the biggest personal sacrifice you've made for your financial goals? Let's see who's really committed. SpaceX's public failure strategy. Transparency as competitive advantage. While Tesla was fighting for survival, SpaceX was playing an even more dangerous game. They had exactly enough money for 4 launch attempts. After that, the company would be broken. The first rocket failed. Engine problems. The second rocket failed. Guidance system malfunction. The third rocket failed. Timing issues between stages. Each failure cost millions of dollars and months of work. But here's what made SpaceX different from every other rocket company. They made their failures completely public. Instead of hiding problems behind classified government contracts, they broadcasted every explosion, every setback, every lesson learned. Most people thought this transparency was stupidity. Why would you advertise your failures? Musk understood something counterintuitive that demonstrates the third critical survival principle. Strategic transparency converts weakness into strength. NASA didn't want a space contractor who never failed. They wanted one who failed fast, learned quickly, and improved systematically. SpaceX's public failures actually proved they were iterating and evolving. Each explosion taught them something new. The fourth launch was their last chance. According to SpaceX documentation, they barely changed anything from the third attempt. They just adjusted the timing between first stage burnout and second stage separation by a few seconds. That tiny adjustment worked. The fourth rocket reached orbit successfully. 3 months later, NASA awarded SpaceX a $1.6 billion contract. Your application. Whether you're building a YouTube channel, starting a consulting business, or learning to trade stocks, document your failures publicly. Share your losses, your mistakes, your learning process. Most people hide their struggles until they're successful, then only share the highlight reel. But transparent failure creates trust. Your audience sees you're real, you're learning, and you're not trying to sell them some fake overnight success story. That authenticity becomes your competitive advantage. The Christmas Eve miracle. Execution under ultimate pressure. Back to Tesla's Christmas Eve crisis. Picture this. It's December 24th, 2008. Most people are home with families, wrapping presents. Musk is on a conference call with investors, literally fighting for Tesla's life. The restructured funding deal is on the table. $20 million from existing investors, matched by $20 million from Musk's personal funds. But Musk was personally broke at this point. He had to borrow that money, putting himself even deeper into debt. The call starts at 6 p.m. Tesla's bank accounts will be empty by morning. If this call doesn't go perfectly, if even one investor changes their mind, Tesla dies. For hours, they go through every detail. Each investor has to verbally commit to wiring money immediately. No delays, no waiting until after the holidays. One by one, investors agree. VantagePoint, despite being outmaneuvered by the debt restructuring, finally signs on. According to later interviews, at the end of the call, Musk broke down crying. Not tears of joy, tears of pure emotional exhaustion. He'd been carrying the stress of 2 failing companies while going through a divorce and personal bankruptcy. The relief of surviving another day was overwhelming. The money went through that night. Tesla's payroll cleared. Employees returned from Christmas vacation with no idea how close their company had come to disappearing. Money psychology lesson. Most people crack under financial pressure because they haven't prepared emotionally for high-stakes decisions. Musk succeeded because he'd already accepted the worst-case scenario. When you're mentally prepared to lose everything, you can make rational decisions under extreme pressure. Practice this with smaller financial decisions. Before making any investment, stocks, crypto, your business, genuinely accept that you might lose 100% of that money. If you can't handle that loss, don't make the investment. But if you can, you'll make better decisions because fear won't be driving your choices. The government partnership. Pivot, timing political waves. In 2009, the Obama administration was looking for green energy success stories. They needed wins to justify their clean energy agenda. Tesla represented exactly what politicians wanted to support. Musk didn't just ask for government help. He positioned Tesla as the solution to America's energy independence problem. Instead of begging for a bailout like GM and Chrysler, he applied for a Department of Energy loan designed to help companies that were already viable. The $465 million loan came through in January 2010, but with strict conditions. Tesla had to prove they could build cars profitably and repay the money ahead of schedule. Musk used the government validation to attract private investors who'd been scared off by Tesla's near bankruptcy. Suddenly, everyone wanted to invest in the company the Department of Energy had approved. When Tesla repaid the loan 9 years early in 2013, they became the only American car company to have fully repaid the government. Your strategy: pay attention to government trends and policy changes in your industry. Are there new tax incentives for small businesses, grants for green technology, programs supporting minority entrepreneurs? Don't wait for perfect timing. Position yourself where government priorities and your business goals align. Even if you're just starting a side hustle, understanding policy trends can give you massive advantages. The industry giant validation cascade. While Tesla survived on government loans, Musk orchestrated something even more valuable: credibility cascades from industry giants. Daimler, the company that invented the automobile, invested $50 million in Tesla in May 2009. According to industry reports, Daimler needed Tesla's battery technology for their electric smart car. They were admitting that this startup had solved problems they couldn't. When the inventor of the car says your technology is superior, every other car company pays attention. Toyota followed with their own $50 million investment and a deal for Tesla to provide powertrains for the RAV4 electric vehicle. Each partnership created momentum for the next one. Instead of chasing investors, Musk had created a situation where credible partners were validating Tesla's technology. Your version: focus on landing one credible endorsement rather than many small ones. If you're building a fitness business, getting one well-known athlete to use your program is worth more than 100 random testimonials. If you're in consulting, one Fortune 500 case study beats 50 small client reviews. Quality validation creates cascades. People want what other successful people already have. The production hell: theater, Making struggle visible. Tesla's next crisis came during Model 3 production in 2017 to 2018. They couldn't manufacture cars fast enough. According to factory reports, Musk built a second assembly line inside a tent next to the main factory. Most CEOs would have hired consultants. Musk literally camped at the factory, sleeping on the floor. The tent became a symbol of Tesla's desperation, but Musk turned it into proof of determination. Instead of hiding the struggle, he made it visible. Employees, investors, and customers could see that leadership was willing to do whatever it took. By making the effort theatrical and visible, Musk created a narrative where giving up wasn't an option. The struggle itself became evidence of eventual success. Your application. Stop hiding your hustle. If you're working nights and weekends on your side business, document it. Share the late nights, the setbacks, the grind. People respect visible effort more than polished results. Whether you're posting on social media, talking to potential customers, or pitching investors, let them see how hard you're working. Your struggle becomes your story, and your story becomes your brand. Drop a comment if you're grinding on something right now. What's your tent factory moment? The 3 survival principles that apply to any financial goal. So what's the real secret behind Musk's survival when thousands of other companies died? 3 principles that work, whether you're building a billion-dollar company or just trying to build a $10,000 emergency fund. Principle 1. Systematic personal investment. While others protect their comfort, Musk liquidated everything. This wasn't reckless gambling. It was strategic signaling. When you have more to lose than anyone else, people believe you'll do whatever it takes to succeed. For you, stop trying to build wealth while maintaining your current lifestyle. Cut expenses, reinvest profits, live below your means. When people see you've bet everything on your success, they start believing in that success too. Principle 2. Strategic failure transparency. Instead of hiding problems, Musk publicized them as learning experiences. SpaceX's rocket explosions increased NASA's confidence because they proved systematic improvement. For you, document your financial journey, including the failures. Share your investment losses, business setbacks, career mistakes. People trust authentic struggle more than fake perfection. Your failures become proof you're learning, not evidence you're incompetent. Principle 3. Strategic timing with market transitions. All of Musk's near bankruptcies happened during industry transitions where his solutions became strategically necessary for larger players. For you, position yourself where economic trends and your skills intersect. Remote work, AI adoption, sustainability, aging population. What skills can you build that will be essential during these transitions? Making your success other people's necessity. But here's the most important insight. Musk used proximity to bankruptcy as a strategic tool rather than something to avoid. By making his company's survival visible and dramatic, he transformed potential weakness into proof of commitment. Think about the psychology from an investor's perspective. You can fund a stable company that might succeed, or you can fund a mission-critical company led by someone who's sacrificed everything. Which gets your support? Musk didn't just build great products, he built situations where his success became other people's necessity. Tesla's failure would have meant failure for Daimler's electric program, Toyota's EV strategy, and Obama's green energy agenda. SpaceX's failure would have meant failure for NASA's commercial space program. Your strategic framework. Make your personal commitment visible and irreversible. Use transparency about struggles to demonstrate learning. Time your major risks with broader market transitions. Build relationships where your success becomes necessary for others. For your money goals, whether you're trying to pay off debt, start a business, or build investment wealth, the principle applies. Make your success visible, document your commitment, and align your goals with other people's interests. Maybe that means finding an accountability partner who also benefits from your success. Maybe it's building a business that solves problems for people you care about. Maybe it's sharing your debt payoff journey to inspire others while keeping yourself motivated. The companies that survive impossible odds aren't lucky. They're strategically positioned where personal commitment, market necessity, and stakeholder interdependence intersect. When your failure means other people fail too, suddenly everyone has reasons to help you succeed. Remember Christmas Eve 2008. 6 hours left, everything on the line, no backup plan. Sometimes the only way forward is to bet everything on yourself and make your mission too important for others to let you fail. But remember, this isn't about reckless gambling. It's about strategic positioning that makes success inevitable. What impossible financial goal are you avoiding because you're not willing to bet everything on yourself? Comment below. I read every single one. If this changed how you think about failure and success, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell. We dive deep into the real stories behind how successful people think and operate under pressure, the strategies they don't teach in business school, but actually work in the real world.